Shalom.
Shalom, family.
We want to talk about this North Korea thing. North Korea, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. It's almost like that's what they're saying pretty much. There were a couple of articles that I found on the internet about some of the news dealing with North Korea over the last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like World War III literally at the door. Not that this would be a world war, but war with the United States and North Korea actually does not constitute world war, But anyway, it's crazy. United States really feel that they can do anything, with any nation that they please. And some of these nations are getting a little, what's the word for it? They don't want United States in their space. It's like the United States going over in Syria, and Russia is like getting uptight about it, right? Same with North Korea. They get a little uptight about the United States getting close to them, so this could start a war.
The scripture talks about wars and rumors of wars. And we see all of that playing out right now as we speak. I recently did a video on Black Education TV channel where I was discussing how war is and how our people deals with war, okay? And all the chaos in the world. We as a people, we look at these issues and we are so out of the loop. You might see us talking about it on Facebook, sharing a post here and there. But when I say out of the loop, I'm referring to our actions. Once we know these things and once we see these things happening, our actions dictate that we are out of the loop, that we are not preparing for anything. We don't seem to really care much about it. You ask the average Black person what's going on in the state next to them, they can hardly tell you that.
That's right.
Much less what's going on in another country. And we're so bothered by others talking about it, saying, well, why are you insulting people? No, this is not an insult. This is a wake-up call.
That's right.
This is one of those things where our people have got to stop making excuses and stop traipsing around in la-la land.
Yeah, exactly.
There are some very real things going on and happening in this world.
That's right.
And we've got to stay in the loop so that we can know what to pray for, what to do, how to handle these situations, how to prepare our families. Because unfortunately, La Land is open 24/7, and that's where most of our people dwell.
Yeah.
We see a news headline. Okay, we read it. Okay, yeah, they say more about the start. Okay. In other news, what's going on with Empire? What's going on Greenleaf? What's going on Scandal? What is this celebrity doing? What's going on up the street? Who's doing it tonight? Yeah, exactly. We're go on and on and on about nothing. Yeah. And we have some very real issues that is breathing down the neck of all of humanity.
That's right. It's amazing. I was looking at this article. I posted the link to it in the description here of the video. But it says breaking news. Did North Korea just declare war? This came out a couple hours ago. Yeah. And basically, it just talks a little bit about, did we just get a declaration of war against the United States from North Korea? It says, after President Trump ordered the U.S. Navy strike group Carl Vinson to the waters outside of North Korea, and the North Korean government has become increasingly belligerent. But no kidding. Let me say this real quick. Let me ask you a question, right? Let's just say that you're in your house, you're a Black couple, you're in your home, right? And you're just nice and quiet, just enjoying your home. And next thing you know, you hear this ruckus out front, and you see the KKK setting up vehicles and pulling out signs and crosses and stuff right in front of your home. Now, aren't you going to get a little nervous if you're a black couple and you see something like this setting up right in front of your house, right? This is in front of their house. You know, they've been at war. They've not at war, but they've been against each other for years. We talking about for more than 30 years they've been against each other, you know? And so what do you expect? Of course they're gonna feel a little nervous. You got a battle cruiser just outside their waters. I mean, come on now.
Well, you know that's not allowed. And, you know, you can hear everybody giving all kinds of commentary on this stuff. And they don't even like you discussing these types of things.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting what you said, how they can do all of this stuff, all of these battleships and stuff right on someone's border. And you gave the illustration of KKK. And to have someone say that, oh, that black couple, they're being belligerent. I can't believe they're responding this way. Why are they getting their weapons out?
Yeah.
You have a bunch of armed white men in front of your house, and they start burning the cross, and they, you know, yelling and screaming. And if you get your gun to protect yourself, you're being belligerent. You're acting.
He's acting violent.
Because you're preparing to protect yourself against a threat that is right before you. And so we got to ask ourselves, what kind of mentality is this? Is this a mentality that is connected to the Most High? What kind of thinking is this?
Yeah.
To where you can surround people and you are being threatening to them, to their environment, to their sovereignty.
That's right.
And when they respond to it, all of a sudden, you're calling them the belligerent ones, or the crazy ones, or the psychotic ones. Come on now, people. We got to look at this stuff for what it is.
You know, it's amazing. Just let Japan bring a battle cruiser right off the borders of California, right? And watch and see how these people in the United States act if that happens.
Now, what if everybody else in the world started saying, United States, what are you getting all angry for? What are you upset for? You're acting belligerent. You're getting upset because all these battleships from Japan are on your borders.
That's why I always say. That's why I always say America is like that playground bully who is like, they go around uppercutting little kids and giving them wedgies and taking their lunch money and just beating them down and humiliating them in front of the rest of the playground, aka the world. And then when the little kid looks up at him and say, I've had enough, I'm standing up for myself now. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, I can't believe you're so full of hatred towards me.
I can't believe you're violent like this, you know? Why are you trying to protect yourself?
Oh my goodness. If this could be played out as a movie, most people would get it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I really believe these people know what they're doing, what's going on. It just reminds me of that scripture that says, oh, he hath forgotten, talking about the Most High. I don't think he remembers. And also the one that says, who can bring me down to the ground? You know, that's what the scripture says, that they are saying. Who gonna do something about it? We bullying everyone, but who's gonna do something about it? And the Most High says he's long suffering. He's letting them write this check. That check, they keep adding more zeros to it. See how they keep on pushing the debt down the road? That's what they're doing spiritually too. They keep on pushing the debt, and the debt is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They keep adding more zeros. The Most High is long suffering, right? They keep on adding to that debt, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And it's piling deeper and deeper, and going deeper, and piling higher and higher and higher, more and more and more. And so when the Most High rains down his judgment, he said this terror of the world is going to be unlike anything you have ever seen before, because these are people of his indignation. You
know, it's amazing, you know, here just thinking about this stuff. It says here North Koreans are celebrating the anniversary day of sun worship. The United States and sun worship too. So, of the supreme leader and founder of the current North Korea regime, Kim second son. Okay, the celebration is taking place on Saturday, April 15th. Okay, which is tomorrow. Is believed by many officials to be more than just a fireworks show. It is believed that the show will include the testing of a nuclear bomb. Okay, So what? They can't test their nuclear bombs? Don't the United States test theirs? Don't they go out in the waters and other places in deserts or whatever?
No one else is allowed to
No
do
one
such
else.
things.
So they, and don't get me wrong, I'm not for Kim Ling or whatever his name, Jong. I don't even know who the guy is. I'm not for him. I just don't like this unrighteous hypocrisy that the United States have. Okay, so it's just, to me, it's just funny to me. You know what I mean? So they have a little fireworks show. They got bombs. They got bombs. You know what? They got weapons of mass destruction. We've heard that one before, right?
Let's go in there.
Weapons of mass destruction. Sure.
In all of this, where do we fit into all of this?
Yeah.
Where do we fit into all this? You have any idea, Elia, where we as Yah's people fit into all of this? Where do we fit into it?
Well, World War III started. Armageddon is gonna come out of that, and then after Armageddon, we don't come out on top.
Yeah, we will come out on top, but right now, where do we fit into all of this? With all of this news swirling around, where do we fit into
Yah's people right now kind of remind me of the scene in La La Land with all those bombs and stuff was bursting all in the air. You know what I mean? And you were just dancing still.
Still dancing and playing with the video
games and Facebooking. I think we as a people, our people are gonna be Facebooking right down to the last bomb. To finally the internet, just everything just blow up. They're going to be Facebooking right down, texting right down to the last letter. Last letter before, boom, wait a minute. I mean, it's just,
help us.
Help us, yeah, because that's what I see. I see just people I see people walking around texting I don't even know how they even could do it. Mm-hmm. Texting and driving, texting and walking, texting and just doing everything. It's like, but that's how we are, just so involved with
nothing.
Media.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
We're just overly involved in this stuff.
Yes.
It's nothing, exactly. So
nothing.
Where do we fit?
Yep.
Boy, I think we better get ourselves together and get ourselves ready, because we don't know how things could go. Something could happen, and next thing you know, the entire United States can be plummeted into a financial crisis, and it don't have to be just financial. Something can happen. It could be a catastrophic type event can happen in nature or anything, and we just not ready. We got I hate to say this, we got more invested in fun than we have in survival.
That's right. Yeah. Every time I think about the whole survival thing, I get nervous for our people. You have family that you just love so much,
Yep.
And many of them are far away from you. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about these things, you get worried, because most of our people are not prepared. Most of our people are not trying to grow food. They're too lazy to grow food, too lazy to do anything to take care of themselves.
That's right.
Because they feel like there's always going to be a store.
Yeah.
There's always going to be this place that I can run to. I can order it from here. I can get it from there, or somebody else is going to help me. Or like the one person said, if things get rough, we'll just come over your fence. Everybody's always looking to the other person to do things while they do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or most of our people can't even identify certain foods if they had to survive.
Yeah.
Our daughter Sophia brought in some weeds out of the garden. Okay, some weeds that most people would just spray Roundup on, right?
Yeah. And
to kill these weeds, because you want only the things that you plant, right? But I forget the name of some of the particular weeds, because we used to use eattheweeds.com to learn different herbs that are growing naturally, other fruits that are growing naturally. We used to have our children use that as a research tool for homeschool for things that are growing outside. But anyway, she brought some of these leaves in the house. Lo and behold, it was so delicious. She sauteed it up. with some oil and a little seasoning, and it tastes just like good old spinach. Spinach, you know, delicious it was. But most of us yanking that stuff up out of the garden because we have no idea how to survive. Most of us can't even put in any time to save ourselves. I remember years ago, one sister told me, she said, if I had to do what our ancestors did as slaves, if I had to get out there in the garden and work all those hours, they would just have to kill me. And I said, so man, we have gotten that lazy in our spirit to where we can't even put in the time to feed our families, to take care of our communities if we had to. In the Black community, it's rare that you see gardens anymore.
Yeah, back in the days, in the 70s, when I was growing up, you know, every other neighbor had a garden, you know. And now it's getting to the point now, it's like people just come to the garden, they're all this vacant land in the city of Detroit, you know, and a lot of Black communities, there's a lot of vacant land, nobody growing nothing.
Nobody even cares to. I mean, they're looking for the next person to do it. We'll just let them up the road, you know. Yeah, like even in our neighborhood here, there are a lot of lots that are just vacant lots, clean, nice, good dirt and ground, and nobody trying to grow anything, you know. But when stuff go crazy, what are you going to do? Come over somebody else's fence, just like they said.
Come over somebody else's fence. You're gonna be out there going crazy. Yeah, after 3-4 days, people gonna be going crazy. Yeah, trying to kill just 3 or 4 days, trying to kill you for what you have, you know. So, unfortunately, reality is gonna kick a lot of us in the behind before we finally realize that we got to start doing something. Yeah, that's right. You know, most of us have become exactly what the white man accused us of. They say that we're lazy. You know, that's right. That's what they said about us, and it's almost like a programming has taken over. That's because necessity hasn't really kicked in yet, you know? Yeah. As long as we have conveniences, such as grocery stores and stuff like that, most of us won't get it. Yeah, that's most of us are going to continue to just say, well, you know, I'll just do this, that, and the other. When that option is gone, what are we going to do for our families? What are we going to do for our communities? And that for years, that's been the thing that has worried me in terms of people, because I just happen to be one of those who love my people. Yeah. And it's easier said than done to just sit there and watch someone starving. I remember, I shared this years ago when I was probably about 12, when I was a teenager. I wasn't 12, I was a little bit older. I was a kid, a teenager, whatever. We used to get these little things in the mail, adopt a kid in Africa. And I wasn't making much money myself, just had them little piddly willy jobs that you get as a kid. And when I would look at those poor faces, and they knew how to get us, you know, they put a poor Black starving face. And I said, I'm going to adopt me one of them, you know. So I adopted a kid. They sent me a random card. I now know there was a random card of a kid. And I used to keep that card of this particular kid, thinking that the little donations that I was sending every month was taking care of that kid. I doubt whether that kid ever saw 1 penny of what I was sending over there, now that I think back. But the point I was trying to make is, even when I see the children in Africa, many of them starving, that affects me. Most of us have gotten to the point where we don't care what happens to the next person. Even people who call themselves in the truth. Most of us have grown so cold in our hearts to where all we care about is our own family. We can care less about what's going on with somebody else's family. Your situation is yours. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And so it's like, what kind of thinking is that? The scripture says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And so we are just not prepared for anything catastrophic. War would be a detriment to the majority of people in the world, especially so-called Black people. That's right. You know, it's a shame. It's really a shame that this is what's come to, you know, that we're just not prepared, and that all of this information is going forth now, all of the signs of the times, and, you know, it's a difference if you know, think about what I'm saying here, right? It's a difference if it's sunny outside and you look around, you don't see a cloud in the sky, and you hear somebody say it's going to rain, and you say, you know, I don't see no clouds. Where are the clouds? You saying it's going to rain, right? Where are the clouds, right? So you don't see the clouds, then all of a sudden, an hour, 2, 3 hours later, and then you start to see some white clouds coming in. You say, okay, I do see a few clouds. I still don't see it look like no storm coming though, right? And then after a while, you're looking at this and you start seeing these dark gray clouds coming. Let me tell you, you're gonna look at them dark gray clouds. You can say, I still don't think it's gonna be a storm. Well, you are mistaken, because if you compare now and go back 20 years, look at the things that have come out in the news over the past 20 years. Okay, we're talking about crazy things that have happened with the earth, in the heavens, and the scripture says you'll see strange signs in the heavens and in the earth. All of these will be signs. You'll see wars and rumors of war and all this crazy stuff going on. It's the storms all around you now. A storm can happen any moment now when you look at the end times. A storm can happen any moment now. It ain't like it was 30 years ago, But now, in spite of all these storms brewing, all these clouds brewing around us, people are still in La La Land.
That's right.
Well, anyway, we didn't want to hold you too long on this one. So, did you have anything else you want to? Okay, well, on that note, I want to say the title again: North Korea don't start nothing, won't be nothing. That's what they're saying pretty much to the United States.
Yep, they're saying back off.
Back off. Shalom.
Shalom, family.